Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Coca-Cola Superspeedway in Concord, Massachusetts, as we are here for the 8th year in a row for the Thanksgiving 500 here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway, the annual event that we do every Thanksgiving morning. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It is 50 laps around this 3-mile fictional super speedway, as we have always done on the 4th Thursday of the month. And we're excited for it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. But tonight, we set the starting lineup for tomorrow's event, and it's going to be a great night here for qualifying. A new qualifying format here for the Thanksgiving 500, very similar to that, what we did with IndyCar. A little simpler than the oval IndyCar qualifying, but we do have 2 groups to begin our qualifying session here tonight. Each group has 21 drivers each, and the top 5 fastest drivers from each group will then go on to the last round, and in that 5-minute session, that will determine who wins the pole for the Thanksgiving 500. Like I mentioned, 21 drivers in each group to begin the first round of qualifying. Round 1A will see the number 2 of Elijah Gordon, the number 5 of Aaron Abel, the number 6 of Nathan Ormond, the number 8 of Nicholas Samedeo, the number 11 of Owen Miles, the number 14 of Zachary Fitzwater, the number 17 of Mitchell Collins, the number 18 of Chris Reynolds, the number 20 of Hergel Arvin Alonso, the number 21 of Brian Webb, the number 24 of Justin Zidell, the number 25 of Fisher G, the number 28 of Tanner Parton, the number 31 of Daisy Johnson, the number 43 of Shane Lake, the number 44 of Seth Cole, the number 50 of Caleb Rose, the number 66 of Trey Smith, the number 71 of Alexander Rowe, and the number 93 of Brad Stover. Then in Group 1B, Round 1B, which will commence right after the first round is complete, it's the 00 of Eric Monaco, the 01 of Ali Yera, the 02 of Alex Bonsignor, the 1 of William Brock, the 4 of Thomas Troxel, the 7 of Logan Williams, the 9 of Brandon Braunell, the 10 of Roberto Crown Jr., the 12 of Samit Ozkin, the 26 of Daniel Paulus Jr., the 32 of Ryan Durrani, the 40 of Andrew Miller, the 42 of Laura Chung, the 60 of John Andrews, the 71 of Frank Chilton, the 75 of Josh Williamson, the 88 of Eric Drew, the 90 of Brennan Wilmington, the 94 of Travis Crampton, the 97 of Madison Tall, and the 99 of Igor Barreto. And like I mentioned, the top 5 fastest from each group will move on to round 2, the final round, and those 10 drivers will battle out in a 5-minute session to determine the pole. The first 2 groups, first 2 rounds, or I should say, round 1A and round 1B. This is probably the best way we should differentiate the 2 groups. Both of those sessions will be 10 minutes here to begin off. And we will begin off here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway with qualifying. Let's go ahead and get Group 1A out on the racetrack here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway and Thanksgiving 500 qualifying for 2022. And here we are, ready to begin qualifying for the 8th annual Thanksgiving 500 here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Definitely excited to see who gets it done in this year's special event. We only have 2 past winners of this event who will be running this year, but they are 2 drivers you know very well on the channel. Nicholas Samedeo in the number 8 machine won the 2017 Thanksgiving 500, and Hergel Arvin Alonso won the official inaugural edition of this event. We did do it in 2014 as well. I deleted that. I regret deleting it, but the 8th annual edition, starting with 2015, so it's the 8th annual official edition, technically the 9th year we've done this race on this channel. I'm definitely excited to see who gets it done here in the Thanksgiving 500. A very strong field, a lot of experience. 25 of the drivers in this field have run this race before. 17 drivers making their first attempt at the Thanksgiving 500, but only 3 of those drivers have never made a start before on the channel. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see who gets it done here on this clear night. The Coca-Cola Superspeedway. The first driver to get out there, Owen Miles, in the number 11. This is going to be Miles' 4th Thanksgiving 500. Now, he has a best finish of 5th in his first running of this event in 2019. This is his 4th straight year running this race, so he's got the experience on this Superspeedway. We'll have to see if he can get it done in tomorrow's race. We mentioned Nicholas Samadillo, but we're going to mention him again because we have to. It's the first driver that signed up for the Thanksgiving 500, and I have the timestamp to prove it as well. But also, to note on that, the randomization of who got into which group was actually determined by when everyone signed up. So those who came in order in an odd position while signing up are in Group 1A, and those who signed up in an even position in the order they signed up in are in Group 1B. So Nicholas Samadillo was the first driver to sign up for the Thanksgiving 500. He was there before anybody else, number 1, and he's in this session right now, number 1 on the leaderboard. Now, the times that we are seeing here tonight, do believe are going to be a little bit slower than what we're going to see tomorrow night. So definitely going to be interesting to see how that affects the race. But we could be seeing speeds upwards of 250 miles per hour heading into the corners tomorrow. Don't think we're quite seeing that here today, but still very fast speeds here in this Thanksgiving 500. Right ahead of those guys, the number 28 machine, Tanner Parton, who's been running in the Turkey Hill Truck Series this season so far. Going to be his first Thanksgiving 500 here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Just ahead of those guys, the number 31 machine, that is Daisy Johnson. This is her first Thanksgiving 500. Development driver to Matt Tuck, Vlad Prescott, and those guys there. I do believe she has made a start on the channel before. I may be wrong about that, so she may be the 4th true rookie, but definitely expect that she will be a threat in tomorrow's race if things go her way. Number 77 right ahead of those guys, that is Alexander Rowe, long-time veteran of the channel. It's going to be his 3rd Thanksgiving 500. Ran this event in 2018 and 2021, but his best finish is 37th. Not too much luck in this race. He might turn that around this year. These guys got a little pack going on. They might pick up some fast times here. Number 93, that is Brad Stover, his 3rd Thanksgiving 500. Ran this event in 2017 and 2020. Best finish of 14th in this Thanksgiving 500. Number 2, Elijah Gordon. This is his 5th running in this event, and last year he was the runner-up. He's hoping to go one position greater this year. Ran this thing in 2016, 2017, 2018, and then last year as well. And he's got a good shot this year, I do believe. Nathan Ormond, only his 2nd Thanksgiving 500, finished 33rd in 2018. But he's been running in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so he has a lot of experience as of late. I think he's going to be a good threat to win this race. Another driver who has only run this thing in 2018, that is Seth Cole, finished 22nd in that year, and he's back running in the number 44 for this year's event. Number 16 machine, Trey Smith, this year's Indianapolis 250 champion. So, I've always said that the big 3 races on this channel were the Daytona 500 and the Cup Series, which will be coming back next year, by the way, the Indianapolis 250, and this race, the Thanksgiving 500. Nicholas Samadillo has all 3 of them. Trey Smith has one of them, and probably the hardest one, the Indianapolis 250, but he's in this race, and he's been in this race a couple times in the past as well, in 2019 and 2021. Best finish of 12th last year in this event. Here's Arvin Alonso, the inaugural winner, the official inaugural winner of this event all the way back in 2015. He, along with William Brock, are the 2 drivers who have run this event the most. They are both going to be in their 7th starts this Thanksgiving 500, and Alonso has been in every single one of these Thanksgiving 500s except for last year. He missed last year, but he's back behind the wheel in the number 20 machine, and he's definitely going to be a threat to win it, as he finished 2nd in 2019 as well. So watch out for Alonso in tomorrow's race. Number 14, you got to watch out for this guy, Zachary Fitzwater. It's Samadillo and Fitzwater. Those are the 2 guys who are up there who have over 20 wins running in this event. But Fitzwater is only going to be his 5th time running this event, and the first time he's run this event since 2019. So definitely going to be interesting to see what Fitzwater can do. His best finish in the Thanksgiving 500 is 7th in 2016. Right to the inside of him, there's the number 50 of Caleb Rose. This is Rose's first start in the Thanksgiving 500. Been running in the Turkey Hill Truck Series as of late, however, so he'll be a threat to win this event, I do believe. First-timers tend to do very well in this race, as we have seen many times in the past. Number 22, this car driven by Brian Webb, another driver making his first ever Thanksgiving 500 start, but he as well has been running in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, so he's got that experience under his belt. Number 25, Fisher G, back in action here. And this will be his 5th Thanksgiving 500, so a Thanksgiving 500 veteran right here. And he ran starting in 2017 and has made every single Thanksgiving 500 except for 2020. The best finish of 10th, 2019. Number 43, Shane Lake, the 2020 Cup champion, I should say. Going to be his 4th Thanksgiving 500, and his best finish came in his first ever start, 21st. So hasn't been running up front too much in this event in the past, but watch out for Shane Lake as a past Cup champion. You never know what to expect out of him. Number 21 machine here is Stuart Gratton. One of the few drivers who was in the first ever Thanksgiving 500 who will be running in this race. I believe we have 5 drivers in this year's Thanksgiving 500. No, 6 drivers, excuse me. William Brock, Nicholas Samadillo, Harry Larvin Alonso, Zachary Fitzwater, Stuart Gratton, and John Andrews. Those are the 6 guys who ran in the first ever Thanksgiving 500 back in 2015 who are running in this year's event. That's the 21 of Stuart Gratton, who is in his 6th Thanksgiving 500. Ran this event in 2015, 16, 17. Took a couple years off, and this is his 3rd consecutive year running as he ran in 2020 and 2021 as well. His best finish came last year with a 3rd place finish behind Bradley Atkins and Elijah Gordon. Right behind him, it's Mitchell Collins in the number 17. His 4th Thanksgiving 500. Ran this event in 2018, 2019, and last year in 2021. Best finish of 14th in this great event. I believe there's a couple other guys we have yet to mention. Justin Zeidel in the number 24. Back in the number 24, I should say. This is his ride for this race, usually. His 5th in a Thanksgiving 500. If I've been saying Indianapolis 250, I am very sorry. You know, this is such a big race that the other big race is you know, stuck in my head. That was such a great Indy 250 this year as well. So, but Justin Zeidel, their 5th Thanksgiving 500. 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. Did not run this race last year, but he's back in action. The best finish of 4th in 2018. 77, Alexander Rowe. We've already mentioned him. But we did not mention Aaron Abel in the number 5 machine. Aaron Abel in his first ever Thanksgiving 500. He's been running in the Turkey Hill Truck Series this season. I do believe we have mentioned everyone in this session. And the difficult thing about splitting it up is I don't have not every driver is in this session, so I can't actually look at my list and see, did I go through this driver, this driver, this driver, this driver. It doesn't work that way, but I do believe that we have mentioned all 21 drivers except this one. Chris Reynolds in the number 18. His 3rd Thanksgiving 500. Ran this event 2020, 2021. His 3rd consecutive. Best finish of 36th. Hasn't worked out too well for him in the past, but he's looking to get that to go his way here. And we'll get to who the top 5 are here in a moment. Those who fail to advance on in this round will start on the inside lane for tomorrow's race. And then those who fail to advance on in round 1B will start on the outside lane for tomorrow's race. I want to make sure I talked about everyone and how many of these they've been in and everything. And I do believe I have successfully done that. And if I missed you, I'm very sorry. Justin Zeidel, Tanner Parton, Daisy Johnson, Owen Miles, and Nicholas Samadillo, the top 5 as of right now who would advance on to round 2 and go for the pole. Great runs for Zeidel and Samadillo. Couple of veterans of this race, but and even Owen Miles, another veteran of this race, I should say, because this is Miles' 4th running in this event. Oh, but Samadillo's going to come right through there, and Alexander Rowe's going to move up in there, and that completely changed hands, because now Samadillo is quickest with Zeidel, Alexander Rowe, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles. So that top 5 got way more experience there, and as you see, this massive pack we have right here, you know, this is one of those races where, yes, I could do single car qualifying. No, I'm not going through all that trouble for this race. Indy 250, absolutely. This one, it's a super speedway. We don't have as much passing in this event as we used to because we do put a range in the ratings, and The ratings are completely equal for every single driver in this race. Unlike in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, no ratings, and there never will be any ratings for this race. This race will stay as it is, where everyone has an equal car. But with that in mind, we're not doing single car qualifying for this. It's just too much work for what it really is, because there's a lot of passing that happens in this race. And arguably, there's a lot of passing that happens in the NR2003, but we do have folks who do not qualify for that race. That's not the case for this. Everyone makes it in, so there's no point in going through all that trouble for that. But Nicholas Samadio, Justin Zeidel, Alex Inero, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles will be going for the pole here in about 12 minutes. And then Tanner Parton will start in row number 6 in the 11th position. Elijah Gordon will start 13th. Shane Lake will start 15th. Brian Webb will start 17th. Seth Cole will start 19th. Nathan Orman will start 21st. Brad Stover will start in the 23rd position. Zachary Fitzwater will start 25th. Mitchell Collins will start 27th. Stuart Gratton will start 29th. Harris Arvin Alonso will start 31st. Chris Reynolds will start 33rd. Caleb Rose will start 35th. Aaron Abel will start 37th. Fisher G will start 39th. Trey Smith will start 41st for tomorrow's event. Let's move on to round 1B and see who will join Samadio, Zeidel, Rowe, Johnson, and Miles go for the pole here for the Thanksgiving 500. And we are ready to kick it off here in round 1B. The other 21 drivers who signed up, looking to see who will join Nicholas Samadio, Justin Zeidel, Alexander Rowe, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles in the pole qualifying round. 10 minutes again for these 21 drivers, and the fastest 5 will advance on. And those who do not advance on in this session will start on the outside lane in rows 6 through 21 for tomorrow's 50-lap event. Go ahead and get started with more driver introductions. Eric Drew in the number 88 has never won a race before on the channel, but has been running very strong in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Now, granted, the Turkey Hill Truck Series does have ratings. This race does not. That'll be interesting to talk about with another driver in this group, but Eric Drew looking to get his first ever win, and like I mentioned, first-timers do very well in this race. Jordan Lopez, last year's winner Bradley Atkins, both in their first career starts on the channel, getting it done here at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. So we'll have to see if maybe Eric Drew can pull it off tomorrow. Right behind him, Eric Monaco, another Eric in the field. Of course, Monaco has been in this race before. His third Thanksgiving 500, ran this event in 2017 and 2019. So it's been 3 years since Monaco has been behind the wheel of one of these old 2000 cars. We'll have to see what he can do in that 00 machine, possibly get the race victory here in this year's Thanksgiving 500. The 99, the complete opposite end of the spectrum in terms of the numbers. That's Agar Barreto, which, interestingly enough, is where things get interesting, and this isn't the first surprise here. This is his first Thanksgiving 500. Barreto's been driving on the channel for years and has never run this race before, so a huge opportunity for Barreto to showcase his driving talents. Of course, he's traditionally been an owner in many of the big series, but he has driven a lot. He is currently driving in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, has the experience there, the current experience, so we'll have to see if that plays in for Barreto, but he's not the only surprise in terms of that statistic. Number 60, John Andrews, going to be his fourth Thanksgiving 500. One of the 6 drivers who ran in the official first ever Thanksgiving 500 in 2015. But then he didn't run in this thing again until 2020. This is his third consecutive Thanksgiving 500 as he ran in 2020 and 2021. A best finish of 25th, however, in 2015. So we'll have to see if he can better that in tomorrow's event. Number 26, one of our true rookies. We have 3 true rookies in this field, and they're all in this group right here. This is Daniel Paulus Jr., and like I said, last year, Bradley Atkins came into this race. First ever start, grabbed the race victory. Daniel Paulus Jr. here in the number 26. He could very well fit that description tomorrow as well, and we'll have to see if he can do that. Right ahead of him is the complete opposite end of the spectrum in terms of this race. That's William Brock, who, like I mentioned in the first group, along with Harris Arvin Alonso, has driven in more Thanksgiving 500s than anybody else. This will be his 7th. He's been in every single Thanksgiving 500 except in 2019. He missed the 2019 Thanksgiving 500. He has a best finish of 6th in 2018. We'll have to see if he can better that. A very good chance that he does pull that off in the number 1 machine. Right ahead of him, another first-timer in this race. A little bit surprised about this one as well. Josh Williamson was in the booth with us last year, and he's now behind the wheel here in the Thanksgiving 500 for the first time. We'll have to see how well he can do in that number 75 machine, but strong driver there, and he also has some experience, some relatively new experience driving in the Turkey Hill Truck Series this season. That could definitely benefit him here in this race. Ahead of those guys, it's the number 10 machine of Roberto Crown Jr., their first Thanksgiving 500 as well. I was a little bit surprised about that one, too. You know, they've been driving for a little while, but they've also been driving in the trucks as of late, so they got that experience. They've been running well as well, so we'll have to see what they can do in that number 10 machine. They just went to 4th, so watch out for Roberto Crown Jr. in this year's Thanksgiving 500. Number 9, this is another true rookie, Brandon Brownell in the number 9 machine. And like I said, you know, along with Daniel Paulus Jr. there, these first-timers do a very good job in this race and in special events in general, so I would watch out for Brownell in this event, especially if he can qualify well. Downside for him right now is he doesn't have any help, and that's what you need to qualify well here in this Thanksgiving 500. Right behind him, Andrew Miller, and this is where I would like to apologize ahead of time. Obviously, we've broken this rule a little bit as of late, but Andrew Miller will also be in the booth with us tomorrow. Maybe we'll say Top Dragster's in the booth with us tomorrow, and Andrew Miller's in the number 40 machine. How about that? But Andrew Miller, his 3rd Thanksgiving 500, ran this thing in 2017 and last year, returning to the number 40 for a 2nd straight year, where he grabbed his best finish of 25th in this race. So we'll have to see what Andrew Miller can do behind the wheel and calling the race at the same time. Nathan Stapleton's been doing a lot of that as of late, and he got a race victory at Iowa, but not in a race he was commentating. So we'll have to see how that works out. And speaking of Nathan Stapleton, his good friend Travis Crampton behind the wheel of number 94. This is Crampton's first Thanksgiving 500. He does have a lot of experience, though, driving behind the wheel on the channel. And we'll have to see what he can do in that number 94 machine. Number 4 machine right behind those guys. And at this one, I couldn't believe it. When I was going through all the statistics of this race, I could not believe what I was seeing here. Thomas Troxel, 6th Thanksgiving 500. Which makes sense. He's been running this thing since 2016, missed 2017, but this is going to be his 5th consecutive running of this race. Best finish of 23rd in this event. After 5 times he's been in this race, he's not finished better than 23rd. I'm hoping he does better than that. And that was last year when he got 23rd, so it was even worse than that going in the last year's event. 23rd is Troxel's best finish here in this Thanksgiving 500. Not exactly what he wants coming into this event, I know that for sure. Here's a driver who's got multiple wins, and they've all come within the past couple of months. Laura Chung in the 42. It's great to have her in this race because she has been doing an excellent job over in the Truck Series. It's too bad Kukulon isn't in this race. It'd be cool to see them battle it out here in this event because they're having a great battle in the championship. Obviously, Gateway happened last weekend. She lost out a little bit there after she had an issue in that race, but they're going to be going after it in the championship here, the final 5 races of the season through December, and excited to see who gets it done over there. But Laura Chung getting a little bit more experience under her belt. The thing is, there's no ratings in play here, so she doesn't have that extra benefit like she does in the Truck Series, but watch out for Laura Chung in that 42 machine. She's been excellent over in the trucks this season. She have a good shot at getting it done here in the Thanksgiving 500. Logan Williams, his 3rd consecutive Thanksgiving 500. Best finish of 11th in 2020. And he ran this thing last year as well. This is the car he drove in 2020, and he's back in it in the number 7. Number 97, and speaking of Nathan Stapleton again, it's Madison Tall in the ride for this year. So her first Thanksgiving 500. Now, she's done the Indianapolis 250 many times. That's generally the only race she's really done, but she does have a lot of experience in that event. That's a long race like this one. So I'd watch out for Madison Tall to possibly get it done. And then number 97 machine. Number 90, Brendan Wilmington came so close to winning this thing in 2020. His 3rd Thanksgiving 500. Just barely missed out on winning this thing against Mark Davidson in that one 2 years ago. It'll be intriguing to see if he can get one position higher tomorrow in this one. 0-1 machine, Aliera in that one. She actually ran this race back in 2019 and finished 8th, so she's got a little experience. He does have a win in the Truck Series earlier this year, so and watch out for the 01 of Aliera there. She could have a good shot at getting it done in this Thanksgiving 500. Number 32 machine. This is Ryan Durrani, going to be his 4th consecutive Thanksgiving 500. And he has a best finish of 9th in this race last year. And watch out for him. He has the experience on this racetrack. He could have a very good opportunity at getting it done. Sam and Oskin in the number 12. This is another driver, I'm surprised, running in their first ever Thanksgiving 500. But Oskin, he's got a lot of a Cup experience. It's been a while since he's driven on the channel, though, so we'll have to see how well he can do in this one. We already mentioned Eric Drew and Eric Monaco. I know there is one driver we've yet to mention. Here is one of them, Frank Chilton, the last of the true rookies we've yet to mention. Like I mentioned, those true rookies have been doing a good job in this race. Frank Chilton, Daniel Paulus Jr., and Brandon Brownell, all going to have a good opportunity of winning this thing, and I feel like they're all going to be running up front. And I think we're down to one driver we've yet to mention. This guy. This was the biggest surprise for me in going through all of this. Alex Bonsignor back behind the wheel. He drove a little bit in the Hers Dash Series when we ran that over the summer. He's been driving on the channel since we started doing racing. This is his first Thanksgiving 500. He was in the booth with us a few years ago for this one. He's behind the wheel this year. Great to have him in the race. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I was like, he's never been in this race before. That's incredible. But he's finally, about time, in the 8th running of this race, going to be behind the wheel going for a Thanksgiving 500 win. All right. Let's see here. Well, I think we've gone through everyone. And just like the first group there, kind of hard to tell. But it's number 60, number 50. Number 60, we went through John Andrews. I believe we mentioned everybody. And, you know, if I missed someone, I do apologize. You know, I try to do a good job. Hey, I went through all that trouble to give you all that information on how many starts they all have in this race, when they had those starts, their best finish. Took me a while. It was a lot of fun to do all of that. Yeah, I think we gone through everyone. So, if I missed someone, I apologize. Here's the top 5. Ryan Durrani, the number 12 of Sam and Oskin, 99 machine of Igor Barreto, the 88 of Eric Drew, and the 01 of Aliera. And they're all in this pack right here. Except for, Eric Drew? I can't remember. The pack's gone now. That's the top 5. Took us a lot longer to get through the intros on that one than it did on the first round. That is how it is. Ryan Durrani, Sam Oskin, Igor Barreto, Eric Drew, and Aliera. The top 5. They will be joining Nicholas Samadio, Justin Zidell, Alexander Rowe, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles going for the pole in this Thanksgiving 500 in just a couple of minutes. Eric Monaco will start alongside Tanner Parton. William Brock will start to the outside of Elijah Gordon. Josh Williamson will start to the outside of Shane Lake. Daniel Paulus Jr. will start to the outside of Brian Webb. Roberto Crown Jr. will start to the outside of Seth Cole. John Andrews will start to the outside of Nathan Ormond. Laura Chung will start to the outside of Brad Stover. Travis Crampton will start to the outside of Zachary Fitzwater. Andrew Miller will start to the outside of Mitchell Collins. Thomas Troxel? No, sorry. Frank Chilton will start to the outside of Stuart Gratton. Thomas Troxel will start to the outside of Hergel Arvin Alonso. Logan Williams will start to the outside of Chris Reynolds. Alex Bonsignor will start to the outside of Caleb Rose. Brendan Wilmington will start to the outside of Aaron Abel. Madison Saul will start to the outside of Fisher G. And then Brandon Brownell, the last position, will start 42nd alongside Trey Smith. Let's get to pole qualifying. 10 drivers, 5 minutes. It's only going to be a 5-minute session, so they're not going to get too much time to do it. Durrani, Oskin, Barreto, Drew, Yera, and then Samadio, Zidell, Rowe, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles. And I remember that without having to look at it. Let's see who wins the pole for the Thanksgiving 500, and then once we're done that, we will show the entire starting lineup on your screen for the 2022 Thanksgiving 500 here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Let's see who wins the pole here in Concord, Massachusetts. And here we go. We are ready to see who wins the poll for the 2022 Thanksgiving 500. Positions 1 through 10 will be determined in this group. We'll have to see who gets it done here in this 5-minute session. Only 5 minutes for these drivers to get a lap in to see if they can win the poll. Nicholas Samadillo, Justin Zaidel, Alexander Rowe, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles advanced on from round 1A. And then Ryan Durrani, Sam Adoskin, Agar Barreto, Eric Drew, and Ali Yera from Group 1B. The fastest driver starts first in tomorrow's 50-lap event. These guys don't have much time to get out there either. Already a minute off the clock. Daisy Johnson, first driver out there in the 31. Nicholas Samadillo right behind her. Eric Drew coming off now, and then Ryan Durrani, Justin Zaidel, and Agar Barreto close to each other. Might want to watch for that right there. Obviously, we saw in each of the first 2 rounds that the fastest times came from a big draft. Alexander Rowe coming off here in the number 77. And then 3 drivers still left. Number 12 of Sam Adoskin, 01 of Ali Yera, and then the 11 of Owen Miles. Still yet to get out there on the racetrack. They have to start their fast lap before the official time runs out. They have 3 minutes to get out there and start. Daisy Johnson will begin her fast lap here. There goes Yera in the 01. She's going to head out. And so will Owen Miles. It's going to leave Sam Adoskin on the pit lane. Nicholas Samadillo and the 88 machine of Eric Drew right behind Daisy Johnson. And right here, there's your pole winner, by the way. Justin Zaidel, with where he is right now and the gap that he's going to pull up to Igor Barreto ahead of him, it's no questions that Zaidel is going to, at least in this first round of guys getting a full lap under speed in, that he's going to be the fastest. What a return for Justin Zaidel here to the Thanksgiving 500. Has not run since 2020. Missed this race last year. Daisy Johnson has put her time on the board. 49.977. These two may also have something to say. Oh, actually, you know what? Durrani was already on his fast lap, and he caught up to Yera there in the 01. He grabbed a little bit of speed, but Zaidel grabbed a lot of speed. And Justin Zaidel, 49.098. That's actually significantly slower than the fastest times we saw in the first 2 rounds. But then again, they were in massive packs those first 2 rounds, and that is why we saw such a jump in speed in comparison. So 3 drivers still left to clock in a time. Owen Miles, Ali Yera, and Sam Adoskin. I don't know if Oskin has started his fast lap yet. Yera's going to be the first one, and she's got help here from Ryan Durrani. So this could get interesting right here. She may actually go to the top of the board in the 01. No, Durrani's got it. Barely over the 01, but Yera's got the outside pole currently. Owen Miles comes through to 8th, and that's going to leave Sam Adoskin. Oskin does not have any help. So, it's either these 2 guys right here, Zaidel and Barreto, or these 2 guys, Yera and Durrani. And they're going to have a couple more opportunities to get a lap in here. I don't think you can get it if you're trying to make a pass. Especially if you're the guy on the outside. And Yera's stuck on that outside and she's not going anywhere. She's going to have a shot, though, on this lap, and I think she'll have an opportunity. Ooh, 88! Here we go. We got another group that's helping each other out. Eric Drew and Nicholas Samadillo. So Drew caught right up to Samadillo, but could not get Durrani's time. But he came close to it. Now Samadillo might have an opportunity here and maybe shooting up. He's right now the slowest driver in this session. Sam Adoskin has gone to 6th. So every driver has completed a lap under speed here in the pole round of qualifying. And this will determine the top 10 starting positions for the Thanksgiving 500 tomorrow. Watch out for Samadillo. He's been right behind, directly behind this 88 this entire run. He's going to try. Oh, he's not even... I thought he was coming down the pit lane there for a second. That was not the case. We'll see. He will improve his time. And he goes to 6th. Not quite enough to get any further. Still a great run there for Nicholas Samadeo. Ryan Durrani still holding on to that top position. Yera did not improve her time as she remains in the 3rd position. That's a good place, though. Right there in that inside lane. And then these 2 guys have kind of stalled out as well, Barreto and Zaidel. So the 6 guys who have had any bit of drafting are the top 6, and the 4 guys on their own, Ozkin, Rowe, Daisy Johnson, and Owen Miles are right behind them. Now tomorrow everyone will be in the draft, 42 cars strong around this 3-mile super speedway. And it's going to be crazy out there, but we're going to have 2 cycles of pit stops that are going to be required to get through the race, a little bit more than normal. We're looking at about a 17 to 19 lap fuel run for tomorrow's event. So it could get a little interesting. It's a 2-stopper, but if you get an early caution, it could be a 3-stopper. One thing we do know for sure, Ryan Durrani has won the pole for the Thanksgiving 500 here in 2022. He will start alongside Eric Drew there in row number 1. As you see the starting lineup for the entire field there on the right-hand side of your screen. Ali Yera will start 3rd alongside Justin Zaidel. Igor Barreto and Nicholas Samadeo will make up row number 3. Sam and Ozkin and Alex in a row will make up row number 4. Daisy Johnson, Owen Miles in row number 5. Row 6, as we mentioned, is Tanner Parton and Eric Monaco, Elijah Gordon and William Brock, Shane Lake, Josh Williamson, Brian Webb, Daniel Paulus Jr., Seth Cole, Roberto Crown Jr., Nathan Orman, John Andrews, Brad Stover, Laura Chung, Zachary Fitzwater, Travis Crampton, Mitchell Collins, Andrew Miller, Stuart Gratton, Frank Chilton, Hergel Arvin Alonso, Thomas Troxel, Chris Reynolds, Logan Williams, Caleb Rose, Alex Bonsignor, Aaron Abel, Brennan Wilmington, Fisher G, Madison Toll, Trey Smith, and Brandon Brownell rounds out the 42 driver field for the 2022 Thanksgiving 500 here from the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. You will see it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time right here on AG, the channel. And our good friend Andrew Miller will be alongside us in the booth for the 50-lap event. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Ryan Durrani for winning the Thanksgiving 500 pole. Happy Thanksgiving, a little bit early. And I hope you enjoy the race tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Day to reflect, to be thankful for all that we have. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.